Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I guess I'll start off by telling you I meant to do this yesterday for Fired Up Friday, but things that were beyond my control kept me from getting it done yesterday. So I'm going to do it on Saturday. A day late, but hey, it's the thought that counts, right? I'm going to stick with kind of the same theme I had last week when I started the fire with a tea bag. Instead of doing improvised material to use for fire starting, I am going to talk about fire extenders, and then I'll have a little special trick for you at the end. Go ahead and tell you, I love these things. They are probably the best match out there if you can find them. The problem comes is these belong to my parents, and when I found them, they had been wet. If you look at the box, you can tell by the way the box is that the box has been wet. Because of that, when you take one of these, it won't light. Now, while we're doing this, I'm going to use a match to light all of these fire extenders. I will have to use a small torch to get the matches lit. At the very end, I will show you another way you can use these matches so that you don't have to throw them all away. So, that being said, let's get started. The things I am going to use are things that most of us will have in our pack when we go into the woods. I do have a few food items that we may or may not have when we go into the woods that can also be used. So I'm going to start out with the food items. As most people know and have seen, Fritos corn chips can be used as a fire extender. So if you've got just a few matches left and have marginal tinder, you can take a single match and light a Fritos corn chip on fire and use that as a fire extender. Now, continuing with that theory and that train of thought, Tostitos plain corn chips will also burn. So they can be used as a fire extender. Oh. This is a Ruffles cheddar and sour cream potato chip. And it will burn as well. Most potato chips will burn once you get them lit. So those are things that we may or may not have with us in the woods that can be used to extend a single match into something that will burn longer. Now, another thing, pasta. This is just a single noodle of spaghetti. And as you can see, it will burn as well. So will macaroni and other pastas like that. Not as well as the potato chips, but they will burn. Now, we're going to get into some other things. All of us or just about all of us, will have number 36 tarred bank line when you go in the woods. I don't know if everyone thinks about using it as a fire extender or fire tender. Simple overhand knot. I'll tie several of them. And you could make this as big as you wanted. But for the purposes of this, we'll do it small. Back twist the end of the strand after you get it tied off. And like I said, the reason I'm using matches to do this is to show you that you can light all of these with a single wooden match. Now, of course, the bigger you're going to have of this, the more flame you'll get. It won't burn as long as a corn chip, but it will burn longer than a regular match. Now, same thing can be done with a piece of paracord. Now, you can make this as big as you want. And what I did there is I just took a knife and cut that just a little to kind of make it to where I can spread everything out. Sit up here for me. There we go. Now, I will tell you, paracord is a little harder to get lit than the number 36 bank line. But once you get it lit, it'll burn for a little while as well. Now, both of those done. First aid tape, regular athletic tape. Cut it in half, stick both ends together just like that. Then roll it up. Don't roll it tight. Roll it kind of loose. Just coming back around on itself at an angle. Notice it's not rolled up good and tight, anything like that. Get off my finger. And it'll burn. And then finally, 1-inch wide Gorilla Tape. It will burn by itself. just like that. But I've got a little trick I like to do with it, and I'll show you that real quick. I like to take it and roll it up just like that, so that it's hollow through the center. Then take a knife and make a series of cuts in it all the way around. Like that. And then what you get, the top of it can be spread out like that. The thing I like about this is then, when you roll it up, it'll sit up by itself. And then it will sit up like that and it will burn. Out of all of them, the potato chips and the duct tape will burn longer than anything else. Now that I've done all of that, as I showed you, the matches have been wet and the ends of them, they'll still burn, but you can't strike them and get them wet. So this is going to be the last one. Take your knife, cut just the head off of about 4 or 5 matches. Now this takes a little bit of work to get it done. But then take your knife, crush those match heads up. And get them in a pile. Get you up here, let you see what I'm talking about. Take them and crush them up just like that. And then get them all up in a pile. Now this is truly a flash tinder because it will not last long. Take your knife and the old matchsticks. Make you a bunch of fine tinder. Off these matchsticks and lay up there. Usually what I do is I'll take one whole matchstick out of the 4, shave it, and make me a bunch of little curls and put on top of it. Then the other ones, take my knife and split the matchsticks. Put them on top of it. Now, since you've crushed all of that off the end of the heads up and put it in a pile, you can take a ferrule rod and a scraper, I'm going to use the back of this knife. And as you saw, it flashed just like striking a match. But it was very short-lived. That's why you got to have all the other tinder there to pick up when the heads actually ignite. And then from there, you'd build it on up from there. So there we go. There's a fired up Friday on a Saturday. I know it got a little long. I think it's about 15-16 minutes, and I apologize for that, but I threw a lot of stuff at you. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll get another one up for you soon.